to show you how to create assignments and how to create assignments that are started and utilize the RenWeb gradebook platform. Okay. With that being said, let's keep moving on with the History 10 example here. So I'm going to click on this. Now, I'm sure some of you had a good laugh because in the last video I said, hey, thanks for a great first day, but I typed an improper sentence just to drive all you English teachers nuts. So my apologies on that. Hopefully you got a good chuckle or a good eye roll or something out of that one. But all right, so let's go to our classwork. Remember, that's where we're going to post all of our materials, our lessons, our assignments for students. Okay. So you'll notice here we had one assignment. This one I created through Google Classroom just by going to create and clicking assignment. Now you can do this and it works, but then you're going to have to take whatever points each student gets and then you're going to have to manually put them into the RenWeb gradebook. Okay, you can do that, but it's going to take you more time. So I'm going to forego this step of showing you how to do that, and I'm just going to go straight into creating an assignment from RenWeb that is going to actually upload to your Google Classroom, so that then the grades that you give to students on Google Classroom can be automatically loaded to the gradebook on RenWeb. Okay, so let's do that. Let's put an assignment down here for the 24th to the 20th. Notice there's nothing there yet. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to RenWeb. Now you'll note that I've got my History 10 set up already. I've got my 3 categories that I want: homework, quizzes, tests. Maybe yours are going to be set up different or according to district standards. So I'm going to go to assignment. I'm going to add an assignment. I'm going to make sure it's going to be under the homework category or the quiz category, or the test category, depending on if it is a quiz or a test or just a homework assignment. Okay, so let's just do example number 1. Okay, now I need to make sure that my assigned due date is correct on RenWeb so that it all makes sense and that it uploads to Google properly as well. So I'm going to make it due on the 25th of August. Assigned, let's do it assigned on the 25th, due on the 26th, and make it worth 10 points. And I am going to click Google Classroom. That's an important step. Okay, so if you missed that after I did the dates, I scrolled down and I noticed under Preferences there was a Google Classroom option. So I clicked Google Classroom, gave me a couple of options here. Now, I wanted to make a new assignment for me. Now you'll notice it has an old one there for me, so I could use that assignment if I wanted to. So it's already kind of syncing up Google Classroom and RenWeb together. Very nice. Okay, so I'm just going to click assignment. Once I have that, I'm going to click save. Now if you're a teacher that teaches multiple classes, you can go copy and then copy this assignment over to any of your other grades as well. 9th grade or 12th grade in this case is showing. Okay, so I've got that saved. I'm going to X out of here and go back to Google Classroom. Okay, so notice RenWeb has my homework assignment in here under homework, and let's see if it shows up in Google Classroom. There it goes. Okay, now notice it's just saved as a draft. It hasn't been posted or anything. I'm going to take this because I don't want it under 817 to 821. I want it under 824 to 828, the week that it's due. Okay, I'm going to click on these 3 buttons that are stacked on top of each other. I'm going to click Edit. Now this gives me a couple options. Now notice it did not transfer the due date on here, so I'm going to go back in. I think I had it due on the 26th. Because remember, as soon as I put this on here, the due date and the time, it is going. You can change that time. I just always leave it at right before midnight. As soon as I get this due date on there, it will show up under my Google Calendar and all my students' Google Calendars as well. Okay, I'm going to make sure that it's under the correct topic. Yes, it's under 824 to 828. And now we get to create the assignment. Now we've got some options here. We can create it as a Google Doc. We can create it as a PowerPoint, maybe a drawing perhaps. math teachers, you might do it in the sheets because that's like Excel. But I'm going to show you forms here for a split second. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I want to show you how pretty functional Google Forms is. Okay, so I'm going to have my assignment here. I'm going to make it so that it's got the same title as the other spot. It automatically populates there. First question. Okay, I do have option 1, add another option. I'm going to type in my answer, so on and so forth. Now, because this is a homework assignment, if I am using multiple choice as I am right here, I want to go to settings. Okay, and I want to do several things. One, in order for me to know what student gave me this assignment back, I need to click collect email addresses. Okay, then if I only want them to be able to take it once and not be able to go back and or keep resubmitting until they get 100%, I want to click limit to 1 response. Now, do I want them to edit after submitting? It's up to you. If this is a summative assignment, I would argue probably not. Okay, now I'm going to go over to quizzes. If this is a quiz, then I can mark it, make this a quiz. Now, remember, we have this under homework, but that's okay. Because what this is going to do, because this is multiple choice, is going to allow me to actually create an answer key. So for this first untitled question, I'm going to go to the answer key, and I'm going to say, hey, option 2 was the correct answer. Give it 1 point if they answered that correct. If they answer option 3, 4, 1, it's wrong, no points. Click done. Okay, so now I have my first question. And I want to require this, otherwise students might accidentally skip over it or purposely skip over it, but I want them to give it their best shot. Now, I've set that up. I could do that for every single one of my questions on this Google form, on this homework assignment, but hey, maybe this is a bell ringer. I just want to create this very quickly. I'm going to click this button right here. It's a duplicate button. Now all of a sudden, my first question up here comes down here, and now I have my second question. I'm going to type a new question in there, type new answers, and I'm going to make sure my answer key is correct. Let's say it's option 3, that's actually correct in this case, and click done. Okay, now I can also click this option, shuffle option order. Now if you missed where I put that, this is important because if students are going through this potentially side by side, let's say there's twins in your class and they're working from home on this assignment, you don't want them to see which one the other one clicked, and so you're going to click shuffle option order. Okay, and that is going to be very helpful because shuffle option order is going to mix all of your answers up. Okay, as soon as I have that, okay, I can keep making my answers, so on and so forth, and then I'm good to go. Okay, so now my example number 1 Google form should be showing up right here if I click it. Yep, sure enough, it takes me to my assignment I just made. Now, last couple things here before this video is done is I can assign it right here and now for my students, or I can schedule it. So let's do that. Let's schedule it. Let's say, okay, I'm working the week before, I'm ahead of my on creating my assignments, and I say, hey, you know what, I want it to come out on August 25th at 8 a.m. That's when I want to schedule it, so that is when it's going to post. That's when it's going to, so to speak, drop into the students' homework folder, or they'll be able to see it. Okay, and so I have that here. Okay, so now I've got my homework assignment. Now remember, I can create an assignment that's just students have to type into the document and go from there and submit it to you, just like we have here. Now, if you're going to have students do a short answer piece, you could do that on Google Forms, or you could totally go the route of using the Google Doc. And so that's 2 options that you have for creating homework assignments. But remember, first thing first, start in the RenWeb Gradebook, create the assignment, and make sure you scroll down, go to Google Classroom, and create new. That's where you start, then it automatically auto-populates. Once you have it graded, you'll notice actually if I go here to back in RenWeb to my assignment, that example number 1 assignment, I can go to load Google Grades. It will do that. Now I don't have any Google Grades to load, but what it would do is it would show you, hey, Jessica got a 10 out of 10, Brooke got a 10 out of 10, so on and so forth. This kid got a 7 out of 10, this kid got a 4 out of 10. Okay, need to reteach that kiddo and make sure they're on track, and so on and so forth. You get the idea, but it's very helpful if you're using the multiple choice Google form piece for an assignment. All right.